Chairman Durbin, Ranking Member Grassley, and distinguished members of the committee. My name is Cheng, and I'm honored to join you today representing myself and only myself. As a gay Asian American professional sports shooter, this hearing is very timely and essential to our national conversation on civil rights and our future as a peaceful nation. I'm here today to share my quintessential American story. In 2012, I earned the title of History Channel's Top Shot Season 4 champion. Now, only in America could a self-taught amateur shooter train and win $100,000 and a professional shooting contract. After this, I quit my job at Google and switched careers and focused on firearms, culture, and their role in American history. I earned a master's degree in policy studies from Middlebury College in 2006. Following my Top Shot win, I naturally wanted to research gun policy and history. But I was appalled to discover how gun control can be used as a tool of discrimination. While our black brothers and sisters have arguably experienced the most negative impacts of gun control through structural racism at the hands of the government, Asian Americans have also been negatively impacted. I will share two examples. First, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 was the first federal law to explicitly prohibit the immigration of people of a particular nationality and set an extremely dangerous precedent for future xenophobic mandates. Second, in response to mounting pressures during World War II, Executive Order 9066 mandated that more than 110,000 innocent Japanese Americans were to be forcibly relocated to internment camps. This order stripped my Japanese ancestors of their rights and their civil liberties. The goal was to keep us unarmed, invisible, and silent. Neither the Chinese Exclusion Act nor the executive order was genuinely successful in increasing domestic safety. Neither will the gun control legislation under consideration. Why are these historic moments important for our conversation today? I'll explain. With a 149% increase in anti-Asian American violence over the past year, Asian Americans are flocking in droves to buy guns, many seeking to purchase their first firearm. There is a real need and imminent threat. We need to defend ourselves, not 3 days or 20 days from now, but right now. I encourage people to be their own first responder because there is no guarantee that help will arrive in time. Universal background checks will not help. I live in San Francisco, and if I want to give or sell a personal firearm to a friend or family member, they must wait 10 days. There should not be a timer delaying when an American wants to exercise their Second Amendment right or any other individual right. Every year, millions of Americans legally purchase firearms. In comparison, only a few thousand criminals or mentally ill individuals acquire guns and commit homicide. Will you let the criminal minority take away the rights of the law-abiding majority, rights which are supposed to be guaranteed to us by our Constitution? I'm against H.R. 8 and H.R. 1446 because they represent a threat to the safety of Asian Americans and all Americans who have an imminent need to defend themselves. Earlier, I spoke about the racist roots of gun control. But what's worse than systemic racist gun control policies? Poorly thought out gun control policies that will negatively impact Americans of all walks of life, all races, genders, and sexual orientations in America. I'll expand. I'm a gay American and have been happily married to my husband of 5.5 years. Today, we see a rise in attacks against Asian Americans, but tomorrow, I might be back here talking about the persistent, ongoing violence against LGBTQ Americans. I've lived through how the phrase gay virus to describe AIDS stokes the same fears and dehumanization elicited by the words Chinese virus. This derogatory language contributes to a less safe, less empathetic society. I'll continue speaking out against hate and violence in all forms, and I encourage all Americans to participate in what should be a simple, universal condemnation of hate and violence. We should not be afraid of saying that we will not tolerate it, that it is unacceptable, and that it must stop. At the root of our country's violence is not firearms. The root causes of human violence and hate are many: low self-esteem, lack of mental health resources, community, education, job opportunities, and a lack of humanity. Congress must focus on these actual causes of violence that will make America safer. Thank you for allowing me to address this committee on the importance of gun safety and education and condemn the brutality ravaging our communities today.